I believe you've hit the mother load.
Hello again, you guys, and welcome back. For me, today is Yard Sale Saturday, which means, of course, that I have my GoPro in place and we are getting ready to head out and hit up some yard sales and garage sales to hopefully find some great stuff to flip online for a profit. Before we head out, though, I'm going to let you know that the sponsor of today's video is VENDOO. VENDOO is a cross-listing software that I personally have been using now for 3 to 4 months. I pay for it myself. I absolutely love it, and it helps me to streamline my process of taking a listing for me personally from eBay that I create there, and then through VENDOO, I'm able to push that listing out to multiple marketplaces. Poshmark, Mercari, Etsy. I'm able to import all of that information, including the shipping weight and the dimensions from that eBay listing. So I don't have to go back and reweigh that item and do all of that hard work again. VENDOO takes all of that information and gets it ready for me so I can list it on other platforms. As you can imagine, that saves me all kinds of time when it comes to listing. VENDOO recently added Facebook Marketplace as well to the list of platforms that they support. So if you're a local marketplace seller, that could be a great thing for you. VENDOO also offers great features like delist and relist, meaning that you can go into VENDOO and you can take a listing that's sold down from all of the platforms that you listed on, rather than having to go into each separate app and delist it that way, which again, time saver, streamlined efficiency. I am all about that. I'll go ahead and link a video right here and down below as well, sharing my full review and demo of VENDOO. I'll also link down below as well a couple of videos I did where I basically tracked how much money I made through cross-posting when I was using VENDOO, and you can see exactly how worth it was for me to be able to get those items quickly and easily onto so many more platforms and in front of so many more potential buyers. As always, there is an affiliate link down below as well that will give you 25% off your first month using VENDOO, should you decide to give it a go. All right, you guys, let's go yard sailing.
I see that. You really.
I love a good blanket.
Well, they got the canning jars. If you could only find the lids for them. I believe you've hit the mother load.
Hey. It's okay, I'll just take what I've got over here.
No, these are different too. Oh, that's the thing. You'll be out again, I'm sure. Okay, the white one's 2, that one was 2, this one's 2, and I don't have that much with me.
Where you going now?
Oh, no, that's fine.
Can we hold it for you? You'd be perfect for that.
That's okay. Thank you. Let's see. And it says 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
You go.
And rip it up.
I'll tell you what I'll find.
Disappear back in this hole and bring out more.
Yeah.
You're hung up.
Is it?
I've knocked this off too. Just put it in this hole.
How did you go?
Think about it.
I'm sorry.
You're
In your way.
Pull out this hole again.
Do you mind if I show you what I picked out and
Okay.
see what you think? So I've got some shirts, a dress, 2 sweaters, and then I wasn't sure how much your blankets were.
You know, the sides are different. You see this?
Yeah. So there was 1, 2, 3 of those. A dress, some thermals, and a couple of blankets. Sure. No problem.
$73. I can do it twice.
73. Okay. Could I ask how much certain things are?
That's 5 and 5.
Okay.
And one of this big one is 10, and the other two
Gotcha.
they're different, and one of them is smaller.
Gotcha.
It's
Okay.
5, and then one. You want me to double check?
No, you're
I can
absolutely
make a
fine.
mistake.
No, you're absolutely fine.
And you want me to do it again?
No, you're totally fine. I may put back just a couple of pieces, if that's okay.
What's your goal is shooting for that number?
Probably, I think I have around 50 on me.
Well,
So
I'll
I'd
go see you for 50.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. I think my husband's turning the car around. We can load them on up.
And I'll carry these for you.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for your help.
You're welcome.
All right, you guys, welcome to the whole portion of this video where I show you exactly what I picked up at today's yard sale. So I have a pile of vintage sort of clothing and household items and other vintage stuff. So pretty much everything at this sale was vintage, and there was so much there that was just kind of cool. So let me go ahead and show you exactly what I grabbed. Some of these were like just things that I put in the pile because I didn't really know much about them. I'm not sure about these. They are definitely vintage. They're definitely older. They are slippers, essentially, like slip-on moccasins, slipper sock things. I still think that they will sell, even though they're not really like a specific brand or anything like that. I have sold many a mitten that look just like these, and actually I thought they were mittens, but I still think that they will do okay. These I have no idea about. These actually she threw in for free, which was ever so kind of her. She actually quoted me about $73 for this pile, which is absolutely fine, totally understand, but I didn't quite have that much money left. It was the end of the yard sale day, so I was very happy to put some items back basically and try and reduce it to closer to 50, which is about what I had left. However, she did tell me that she wanted to get rid of as much as possible, and so I could absolutely just have it for $50, which was super nice of her. Not necessary. I was happy to put stuff back, but very, very kind of her. So anyway, I should have told you that at the beginning, that all of these items altogether were $50. Anyway, back to this. So this one she threw it in for free. It's just like vintage, I'm assuming from like the 70s, just by the look of it, maybe the 80s, I'm not sure. And you can use them to sort of decorate your home and things like that. Definitely an Etsy style item. I got a couple of pairs of vintage thermals. I have not sold these before, and I do not know how well they will do or if they'll do well at all. These are like ankle length ones for men, and then these are ankle length ones for women. I'm only going on the fact that they are new in package and they're vintage. They may have absolutely no value at all, but I'm going to test them out and see if I can learn something. This is a new in package, so like dead stock or new old stock vintage blanket. This one, the comps are actually doing quite well. I'm hoping for around $35 or so for this one. This one, the comps are not quite as promising, unfortunately. So this one may end up being a redonation, and that's absolutely fine, or I may just give it a go and see if anyone ends up buying it. Okay, and then as for clothing, so I picked up the wildest things that I could find basically. So I've sold this brand before, but I'm not really bothered about the brand. It's just a vintage piece, and it's kind of like, it's clowns for sure, but it's like a Harley Quinn style pattern to it as well, and they're all kind of like figural with little standout pieces and noses and whatnot. If you don't like clowns, I'm sure this is your worst nightmare of a sweater or cardigan, but I'm sure somebody out there will absolutely love it because it's just different. I also grabbed this one that is just like a vintage Christmas cardigan. These usually sell for me around the $35 mark. This one unfortunately has a spot that I'm going to have to work on getting out, but other than that, again, vintage, but I absolutely loved all of this. Almost like cross-stitch type detail all the way down. I thought it was really, really cute. All of the cottage core vibes. Primitive, farmhouse, folksy, cottagecore, prairie, all kinds of keywords that I can play around with for this piece. Again, this piece has a couple little marks, which actually I would just expect for an apron, but I'm going to attempt to get them out. But how cute is this little vintage apron? I don't do a lot of vintage aprons because I did a bunch way back in the day and they took forever to sell. But the big, bold novelty prints like these strawberries will most likely do quite well. And I will cross-post this to like Etsy and Poshmark and Mercari and things as well. Plus, it's so light to ship and so easy to store. Okay, this piece is purely because of the print. How loud is this print? So it's Bugle Boy. I'm thinking like 90s, like early 90s for this. It screams 90s to me. What I will most likely end up doing is rolling up the cuffs and then tying a knot in the front and marketing it more as like a women's vintage piece. That just tends to work a little bit better for me, especially on Poshmark. Obviously, even though it's a men's shirt, I'll disclose that it's a men's shirt and that it's styled for the photographs, but I think it might sell a little faster if I market it that way. Almost has like a Stranger Things feel to it. I don't know. I don't even know what this print is supposed to be, honestly, but it was so loud, I just had to grab it. And this piece is a bit of a mistake, I think. So it's a vintage Hawaiian dress, which is not a mistake in and of itself. However, I totally missed that it has a couple of like little holes and stuff in it. And so I have a feeling it's probably not going to sell like that. I will take a closer look and see if that's all that's going on. Maybe I can just disclose it. But the print isn't like amazing either in terms of like super tropical or floral or loud. It doesn't really scream Hawaiian dress to me, so this might end up just being a redonation. Okay, I got 2 bucket hats that are incredibly 90s. I just love picking this stuff up and selling it. I cannot tell you how much I enjoy finding this kind of stuff. So they're both like similar prints. They have the fish and stuff. Obviously one is just a slightly different colorway. Here is the tag. So we're definitely looking at kind of like mid-90s, I would say. I think that they will do well. I've been selling a whole bunch of bucket hats recently, so I'm kind of on the lookout for them right now. I grabbed a like house dress or a house coat, whatever you want to call it. I'm definitely thinking 70s for this, just based on like the print and the style, but it's still super bold, not a lot of like washwear or anything like that, and it does have the pockets on the front, so I'm thinking house coat. But I'll probably use both as keywords. All right, and then finally we have some blankets. I know, more blankets, and I still haven't listed all the other blankets I have. I think I might just have to have like a blanket listing day. They were all reasonably priced though, obviously, since everything was $50 altogether, and they do sell eventually. So I went ahead and grabbed them, and there's some really beautiful colors going on here as well. This granny square one is gorgeous with all of like the mint greens and the corals and stuff. Really pretty with the contrast with the gray. This one was in like immaculate condition. There were a few more that I left behind because they weren't in great condition, but this one had no marks on it, and it's a beautiful like striped color, rainbow stripes, with all of the rainbow striped tassels as well. And the last one is very classic, but the type that always sells for me, with the sort of black background and then the really bright colorways on top. This makes me think of a watermelon, so I just had to grab it. There is unfortunately a little bit of damage on the corner that I hadn't noticed originally, so I'll have to disclose that and obviously point out that someone is going to have to do a little bit of a mend job. I am not the person for that, so that's going to devalue it a little bit, but I still think it was probably worth grabbing, and hopefully I'll be able to get about 40 for it. Whew, okay, thank you guys so much for coming along to this yard sale with me. It really was a fun one, full of awesome vintage stuff that I really enjoy finding and selling. So if you're wondering exactly how I'm planning to list all of these items and get them onto every single platform that I sell on, which at this point is eBay, Poshmark, Etsy, and Mercari, I'm planning to do that using the VENDOO software that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. Essentially what I'll do is put one of these items up on eBay, then from there I'll import that listing into VENDOO. All of that information, including the item's weight, the shipping dimensions, photos, and description, will then go straight into VENDOO, and I'll be able to push that listing out to multiple platforms super quickly without having to revisit any of that information. As I mentioned before, my affiliate link for VENDOO is down below in case you want to check it out for yourself. That'll give you 25% off of your first month. Of course, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're new here and you like yard sale and garage selling, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and the bell notification so you can come back and hang out some more. How about you guys? I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!